Hello, my name is Johan Lindeque. I'm an academic in Switzerland. I work at the University of Applied Sciences and Arts, Northwestern Switzerland. And this is the first video documenting my adventure into owning a business. I've been an academic for a long time, over 15 years now. And as part of my career development, it's time for me to gain some practice experience in the founding and running of a business. This fits in with my employment at a University of Applied Sciences, where I work in the business school. And it's very important for my employer, the University of Applied Sciences Northwestern Switzerland, that I can demonstrate that I have practice experience in the business world. This is kind of a unique opportunity for me in the sense that I come from a very rigorous academic training at a number of European universities, and I can now start to reconcile through my own experiences the practice of doing business with the theory of business that I've been reading about and teaching for a great number of years. I guess they say there is no perfect time to found a business, and that's definitely the case for me. I've had promotions recently at work. This has put me in a situation where I have new responsibilities, and at the same time I've decided to start this new experience. This puts me in a unique position where I have to balance a number of tensions, but I'm pretty certain it's going to be okay, and so far things are working out pretty good, so I'm hopeful that this will all work out well in the end. How have I come to be in the position that I have a small firm that I can start to try out the theory that I've been writing about and learning about for so many years? Well, shortly before the end of last year, I founded a Unternehmergesellschaft in Germany, which is a limited liability entrepreneurial company, which has given me a platform with the need for very little capital, through which I can start to do work for other firms, primarily consulting kind of work so far, writing of reports, but increasingly I'll try to experiment with some other ways of creating value. For me, it's important to focus on creating value in the digital age, so this is what I'm going to do explicitly as I try out different ideas in this new domain of work for me. This kind of gels quite well with the work that I've been doing academically recently, which has been focused on digital transformation and strategic digital transformation of SMEs in Switzerland. So there's a nice fit there. It's an opportunity for me to do some knowledge transfer, and hopefully by doing these regular recordings, I'm able to transfer knowledge in both directions, from practice to theory and from theory to practice. By that I mean from the teaching environment into my attempts to do business, and from my learnings from trying to create value for business partners back into the classroom. If all goes well, this should be quite a productive experience. You might ask yourself, why are you doing this right now, Johan? Well, it is rather directly connected to motivations for me to progress in terms of my career. Essentially, I can't get promoted to professor till I've demonstrated some experience in the practice of doing business, and this seems to be a very good way for me to go about doing that. Now, how does this all fit together? Well, at Universities of Applied Sciences in Switzerland, we have this thing called the double competence profile. That is the competence to do academically rigorous research and teaching, and also demonstrate the experience in the business world. Normally, we have colleagues who have come out of business and have then done a doctorate, and it's quite a clear process for them to demonstrate that they have meaningful experience in both worlds. In my case, I come from a very strong academic background with only internships to demonstrate practice experience in the business world, and so I have to find a new creative way of doing this, and that is why I founded NullPoint Ventures UG Haftungsbeschränkt, my entrepreneurial company founded in Freiburg in Germany. So I've benefited greatly from networks in Switzerland, and this has enabled me to already have a first small contract, as I've already mentioned, which has really been instrumental. And I have to thank my colleague Mark Peter for supporting me in this sense. If I reflect on the last 5 months, I guess it is now, almost 6 months, I don't think I would have made it this far if I hadn't already had a first contract lined up for not large amounts of money, but at least some regular cash flow, and I've learned quite a great deal from that. It's not enough to just have some capital, and even though you can found these entrepreneurial companies in Germany with as little as €1 capital, that of course is clearly not enough. The moment that you found it, you have to start paying expenses, registration costs, notary fees. So having a first contract bringing in money on a bi-monthly basis has been extremely helpful. I have to say, this form of company in Germany, the UG, is quite easy to set up, not very administratively burdensome. And I, for example, used the notary Vivel in Freiburg. It was a matter of a few emails. I think I caused more problems than anything else in terms of my uncertainty about how to do that. Filled out a few forms, went into the office. He guided me through the process. And before I knew it, I had a registered company and was able to start doing business under that company's name, which was really a great experience and great feeling to have done. And simply by doing that, I've already learned a great deal. At the same time, I've done what you would expect a person would do in the digital age. I binged YouTube videos on how to think about creating value in the digital age, on social media, etc. Amongst a variety of creators and also, let's say, educators on YouTube that I've watched. Of course, Gary Vee, a little bit of Alex Hormozy, a lot of Chris Do, great content from him there on thinking about brands, but also how to think about value and getting paid for the value that you create. Content from Omar El Takori. I've watched quite a bit of his videos, which have been fantastic, and also from Think Media, although I have to say it took quite a bit of convincing for me to actually press record on this video. Those of you that have watched Think Media will know what I mean. But it is really great to have these digital resources on platforms like YouTube. I think they enable a great deal of knowledge sharing and insights that are really enabling. So that's been a great experience. I have constraints. I have a day job. It's quite a demanding day job. So one of my major constraints is time. Depending on the week, I'm going to have maybe 5 hours available to dedicate to the company. Some weeks I might have as much as 20 if I have more time on the weekend. So a great deal of time I don't have, but there's enough there, I think, for me to make some progress. I have financial constraints. This business can only run on what it creates. So I don't expect to be able to put any more capital into the organization, and essentially the organization will survive or fail depending on the degree to which I can generate revenue from what I do under the name of the company. Because I have a day job, there are also some relatively clear rules of the game, and because I'm a relatively nervous person in this sense, I've gotten these formally agreed with my employer. So of course, as you can imagine, with having this, if you like, side hustle, even though it's as part of my career development, it can't impact my normal day job at the University of Applied Sciences. The work that we do at the University of Applied Sciences could arguably face some competition from what I do, but fortunately the work that I do at the university is very much local or national within Switzerland. So the way I'm going to deal with that, and the way I've agreed it with my employer, is that I'm going to retain this original contract within Switzerland that has enabled me to found the firm, but I won't do any other work under my company's name in Switzerland. I'm pretty much free to do whatever I like outside of Switzerland, which I think is fantastic and should allow me to experiment quite a great deal with the opportunities that the digital age offers a founder and a startup. Because I have time constraints, I'm going to have to think of ways of creating value that aren't reliant on the time that I work, but rather on the value that I create. this is kind of cool. That's the way that I guess we really should think about how we do things in the work that I do at the university, but also within my company. So, milestones. My first milestone is to somehow get monetized on YouTube. That's an old strategy. I know there's nothing new there, but I'm going to try that anyway as one of the first things I want to do. And the second milestone is going to be formally launching some hybrid online and let's say physical world offers for work that I could do for business clients. So this is going to be a B2B business for the most part. And I'm very much looking forward under the name NullPoint Ventures, can be found at nullpointventures.com, working with other businesses to create value in the digital age, as well as undertaking some of my own initiatives to explore the possibilities that the digital age offers for businesses to create value for consumers and other businesses. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. This is the first video, I hope, in many to come. And I'm looking forward to seeing where the journey takes me, and I hope you'll join me along the way.